Well, hey, what do you say, Frankmeisters? Good evening, everyone. It's good to see everybody. How's everybody doing? Miss Kristen behind the crime doors with us tonight. We're going to go over the trout decorum and discuss about the pre-parte because a lot of people don't understand what a pre-parte is. So I pulled up the definition and with it, and we'll go over that. So how you been, Kristen?
Good. How about yourself?
Trying to hang in there.
Yeah, boy.
Exactly 2 weeks from today is when we get started on this case.
I am hearing you. Things are starting to get real.
Yep. So let's give some shout outs there in the chat real quick before we get started. We got Carrie, Mr. Gravitt, 63 Clocks, Susie, Boss Mod Jinx. I need to get her a nickname. Fuck around and find out. That's what we need to have her little slogan is as a mod. Fuck around and find out. Karen Bentley. We got Robin B. There's Carrie. She's back. Well, that's another Carrie. That's a different Carrie, I think. Let me look. Nope. Different Carrie. Who else? Coach Kev. Nana 73. SP 74. Phil Bond. Rescue all the dogs. I'm here sitting there sweating. Cecil Hotel. She Warrior. Dululu's in the house. Miss Deb's True Crime Notebook. Ron Logan. Oh, boy. He's going to be a goofball here tonight. I already know. Mustang.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. You hear
Jennifer Reynolds.
I don't know. I don't think I know who that is.
I can't take it. Another YouTuber I respected just made my stomach turn on this case.
Do what?
Got a whole sleep of their chat who just heard the case screaming about Richard Allen's rights.
Oh, I haven't got down to that yet. Big Fish, good to see you. Tech Death, what's going on, buddy? Lois, good to see you. Oh, I'm okay. Let's see here. I can't take it. Another YouTuber I respect who just made my stomach turn on this case. Got a whole sleep of their chat who just heard the case screaming. Psh. Nice. Salty Beach. That's a new name. Joe Newman, Miss Persevere. Bernie Spears. Hi from Delphi. Good to see you, Bernie. Thanks for stopping in. Slew. What did she just say?
Slew. I think she's talking about sleuth.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Hey, Tech Death. How are you?
He's been coming around a lot here lately. Stephanie J's in the house. Making sure I got everybody. And by the way, guys, as soon as I end my show at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 10 o'clock Central, Miss Kristen behind the crime door will be going live right after I will, guys. So once we're done here, please jump over to her channel and hit that thumbs up and like, whatever you need to do. Miss Cindy's in the house. And I think I've got everybody so far. Bad to the bone emoji. It's Big Frank. Okay. All right.
My husky, he's crying and whining right now because he's in his crate and my grandson just got here to eat supper and he is losing his mind.
Well, Blade will be the last few lives that I've been having. Blade has been going nuts in here playing, and you know that when they get on their back and start doing all that, and you know, he's like, Dad, I got to show my ass while you're live.
Oh my gosh.
He does. It's funny.
That is funny.
Miss Laura's in the house. Oh, and if anybody didn't see, Mr. Pete Rose, the legend, passed away today. Prayers to his family. Godspeed, Mr. Rose. I was told the Constitution because his rights have been violated. Laugh out loud. No point in arguing with stupidity. None of his rights have been violated. I don't know how many times me and Kristen have done lives proving that these rights have never been violated, period. If they're trying to go back to that safekeeping order, they might as well give up on that. Lakeside Justice is in the house.
They obviously don't know the law.
Apparently not. Periwinkle's in the house. It's like I got into with somebody on there earlier on Facebook about this whole mess saying, well, Nick got away with violating ex parte. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, if you go back and listen exactly what happened, he got sent an email by Brad Rosie. It was headed Brad Rosie. He didn't know it was an ex parte until he opened the email.
Yeah, it wasn't in the subject line or,
no.
Or it wasn't anywhere that you would see it before you opened it.
Right.
That's on them. That's not on Nick. As soon as he recognized what it was.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why would they send? It was almost like they tried to set him up by
like they did it on purpose. Yeah.
Right.
And with this defense team, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what's going to happen. There's Miss Carrie Summers. She's in the house.
Hi, Carrie.
She's doing her daughter's hair, so she said she'd be listening and back and forth.
Hey, 63 clocks. Thank you for leaving me such a nice message.
Hold on, guys.
Hey, Deb. How are you, my dear? I miss you. I hope your grandkids are doing well. I'm getting ready to start my crazy month where everybody in my life has a birthday or an anniversary.
Matter of fact, what's today's date?
Today's the 30th. Tomorrow's my daughter's birthday.
Yeah, my mom's birthday would be the 14th, which she would be 74. Would have been 74, I should say. Perfect day to start jury selection, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's get down to it, guys. Don't want to be on here very long because I know Kristen's got to go live too. So give me just a moment here. We're going to go over the ex parte, the meaning of ex parte real quick, guys. So, and then we'll get down to the order.
It's time for school, and everybody needs to pay attention to the blackboard. Oh, cool, Coach Kev. That's awesome.
All right, let's present this. And somebody told me, said, oh, an AI generated definition. I said, it's still Google. All right, let me blow it up a little bit, guys, so you guys can see this. How's that? Can y'all see that? All right. The term ex parte has multiple uses in criminal proceedings. Ex parte communication, when a party or someone connected to a party communicates directly with a judge about a case without the other party's knowledge. This is prohibited by the Judicial Code of Conduct unless law expressly allows it. Another definition of ex parte application, when a party requests an order from the court without giving the other parties notice. This could be to change a hearing date or deadline. Or ex parte proceeding, a legal proceeding where other parties are not notified or present. These proceedings are usually only permitted when a party needs urgent relief. So all three of those are basically saying that they're wanting something from the court. And to me, this is a spot where they can go in and ask for a continuance without Nick knowing about it. And wouldn't that be shitty if that happened?
Yeah, I don't think they can, though. I don't think that's something they can do in ex parte. I don't think they can ask for a continuance. I think it would be shitty if that's what they were trying to do.
Right.
But I think what they're doing more, they're going to be talking, I think, more about what strategy they're going to be using and their expert witnesses. And they want to talk about their experts, I think, and they don't want anybody to know who or what those experts are going to say. And so they don't want to do that in an open court session with the prosecution present.
Well, then in the same sense, but they still have to turn their witnesses over to the prosecution.
Yeah, they'll know who the witnesses are, but they won't know what they're going to say.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The only reason I say that is because that exact same thing happened in Idaho with this. I was telling you about this new judge.
Yeah.
And they had an ex parte hearing at the end of the hearing they were having because the judge wanted to talk to the defense as to why the defense wanted to make the trial be next September and not next June. And she's like, I can't get into that with you without giving away things that I don't want to give away, which he understood. Mm-hmm. One of their expert witnesses passed away.
Oh.
And so they had to come up with a new expert, and this expert hasn't had time to do some of the stuff that they need to do yet. And so he granted that ex parte hearing immediately after the hearing they were having, right, but asked the prosecution to remain in the courthouse in case he needed them.
Right.
So see how that logistically works? When you see that actually happening and you're watching it, it makes so much more sense than when you just see these motions and these papers. You know what I mean? It gives it more, to me, it gives it more substance and you can understand it a little better.
So let me ask you about this. My last live was over Mr. Tobin. Mr. Tobin, the fake expert. That's what I call it. Which one?
I think they've had a couple of fake experts. What about the woman from...
Oh,
I mean, come on. An expert on what?
Perry Mutter, whatever her name is.
Oh my God, yes.
Well, this is the one where they're complaining because Nick responded to something and it had to do with Mr. Tobin because Nick had hired him at the beginning as an expert and paid him the $5,000, right?
Okay.
And everybody's like, well, why is he not an expert for Nick anymore? And I said, it's either because Nick did his homework and found out that this guy was not an actual expert on ballistics, or there was something that he was saying in his deposition that didn't feel right for Nick. And Nick cut him loose. And now the defense is trying to use him.
Well, yeah, I mean, that only makes sense. The defense gets wind that the prosecution kicks an expert witness to the curb, says, hey, we're not going to use you. They're going to jump in and try to use them and find out why. Why didn't they want to use you? Is it something that could benefit us? So that makes perfect sense to me. Although the sad part is that Nick had to waste $5,000 to figure it out.
Right. Well, hell,
there are experts out there. We've said this that aren't truly experts.
Right. I mean, blatantly obvious. How many times did they file with the court requesting more money for experts?
And they can loosely use that terminology as expert witness, and Pearl Meter or whatever her name is, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I just can't remember her name. She is, to me, a complete example. What expert is going to sit there and talk about a crime scene that she hasn't even looked at yet?
Right.
What expert is going to do that and give an opinion and say that they're 90 whatever % sure that this crime was done in in a ritualistic fashion? I'm like, are you kidding me?
The same way with Mr. Tobin.
Yeah.
Same way with Mr. Tobin. He had never looked at any of the evidence in the case and automatically assumed that it was junk. And I'm like, really? I mean, that's like looking at a kid's homework, or not even looking at a kid's homework that's turned in and giving him an F without even looking at the damn thing to see if you did it right.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's, the whole thing is just ridiculous. And for her to actually say that she hadn't done that.
Right.
To me, it rings of, well, we have all this discovery. We have this terabyte of discovery, but we haven't looked at it all yet.
Right. That killed me with that.
We haven't looked at it all.
We can't. We don't have this. Well, did you look at all of it?
Yeah, exactly. How do you know you don't have it?
Right.
You haven't looked at everything yet. You haven't read everything yet. The
Yes.
defense in the Koberger case, they said in court, we just received 328 gigabytes of new data August 13th. And the judge asked her, are you sure it's all new data? And she sat there and she looked at him and she's like, well, no, because I haven't looked at all of it yet. Like, do you see how they try to get away with stuff?
They think these judges are stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not like they haven't been around the block a million times and seen this a million times. I mean, come on. What makes you think that you're going to get away, try to swoop one under her nose without her catching it?
Exactly. I mean, that to me is just, again, they're just going to try things, and whatever works, if they can get it past them, then great. If not, well, they chalked it up till they tried.
Right. Salty Beat says, I expect almost all the new evidence we learn about at trial will be bad for RA. And I totally agree. Anything favorable to RA would have been told to us by the defense already.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
They still have no explanation as to where he was when the girls were being
unalived
taken off that bridge.
Right. Yep. No explanation for that.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. Miss Carrie Summers is talking to you, Kristen. We will be there right after this. You and Frank are such a wonderful YouTube duo together. Thank you, ma'am.
Aw, thank you. I really enjoy Frank. He makes me laugh. He always makes me laugh, and I respect him, and I feel the same about. I think he respects me, and
oh yeah.
So we get that. We just play off of each other really well.
Me and you have explained this numerous times. What was it, about 3 years ago? We had an actual falling out over Discord. Over Discord at that. But then again, as time went by, me and her were adults about the whole situation a year or two later. We connected and we talked about it and burned it all up, and here we are.
Yeah. Who would have ever thunk it?
I know it. Let's see.
Frank's a great guy. If you guys get a chance to meet him at the walk, you need to take it up and meet him, because he's genuine, you guys. What you see is what you get. He doesn't put on airs. He's not playing some role. This isn't a role for him. He's just Frank.
And somebody asked in the Discord, they said something about my voice and said, man, he needs to be on radio. And Deb said he was. And she said that my old boss was his radio instructor. Yep, I remember old Brian Smith, old Charlie Morgan.
Yeah, he definitely has a great radio voice.
Coach Kev said his oldest son's birthday is tomorrow.
Yeah, my daughter's is tomorrow. She'll be 44.
Laura, she's an hour behind us, so it would be 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern.
8 Central.
8 Central. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. I'm an hour ahead, aren't I? Where we're at now. I thought we were at 9 o'clock.
You're okay.
Oh, I've done like 6 lives in the last week.
I know you have. Rescue says, yeah, Kristen, but would you be able to handle 6 hours in the car with Frank?
Kim apparently can, because all we do is sing karaoke, or basically karaoke in the car everywhere we go. If
you guys sing karaoke, I'm good. I am good.
Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, Mr. Clean? Hope all is well down there in the Florida area.
It was so good to hear your voice today. I'm so glad you're okay. For everybody that's out there that's in North Carolina, Georgia, or anywhere in harm's way, I just want you to know that Frank and our hearts are going out to everyone that has been touched by this storm and hurt in any way, shape, or form. There's some of our regulars that we haven't heard from.
Yeah, Aspen, I'm kind of worried because he lives in North Carolina. Miss Deb, have you talked to Aspen? Coach Kev says, ex parte Latin for attorneys jacking each other off. He must say jacking each other off. I know what he was saying there. I ain't afraid to say it. Misty Free Spirit, good to see you. Junior Johnson, Livia 2, Linda Harters. All they do is like to hear me talk. Either side brings an expert witness. It's that normally part of their contract that they pay for airfare, other travel, and hotel expenses. Correct. Their hourly wage is what they charge.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Expert witnesses are expensive. You have to pay for them. They also get a per diem for their day and their time and their meals and everything.
I'm a magical thinking expert. I think we all are there, Cindy. Coach brought up a good point recently. What about the $40,000 to defense raise? Where is the money going? Good question.
I think it should go back to the state, actually, to pay for Richard Allen's defense, but that's just me.
Hell, it probably got drank up by Hennessy. I listened to that hearing too, Kristen. I think Kohberger's attorneys are asking for a ridiculous amount of time.
They are.
The support with Steph is in the house.
You just have to remember that he definitely is a death penalty case, and those cases take a lot of time. There's a lot of stuff that they have to do for those cases. So
Bertie Spears says, thank you for explaining. I had to, because people, I've seen it over this case. We've had several ex partes, and people just didn't understand what it meant.
Yeah. Yeah, Mustang's right for the picture that they had to buy.
That is ridiculous.
That was just ridiculous. Yeah. Somebody needs to call that shit out. I'm sorry.
Hey, they could pass that 40 grand right over here, and I could share it with all my comrades.
Vicus V3 says that 40,000 was to pay off social media shills on the down low.
Jennifer says most experts will testify in your favor for their fee. Yeah, that's true. Just to get that money.
Yep, it's all about the money.
Hey, Frosty, is your phone back on yet? Because I know Verizon was knocked out all day today here in Indiana. Ruckus says, I'm not a ballistics forensics expert, but I did say at a holiday. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
Thanks, Ruckus.
I should have expected that to come out of his mouth.
Oh, my God.
Good question, SP74. Mr. Tobin is a metallurgy, is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah, metallurgy. Mm-hmm.
Expert who is not a firearms expert. Makes no sense.
Yeah, well, metallurgists are ones who study metal, so I don't really get it either, but I would think you'd want a ballistics expert.
Don't forget, 2 weeks from yesterday, prayer walk for Abby and Libby. 1:30 p.m., 1600 Old Camden Road, which would be the Freedom Bridge parking lot. Let's say he doesn't have to see the evidence to say there's issues with the methodology underlining tool marks making use by the analyst. I'll just be quiet on that one. Would have it been leaked via the due process, dumbasses? Lulu, she don't care either. She'll call you out in the chat when she's in the chat. Oh, what is this? Fretless Mayhem. That's a new name. Thank you for stopping in. And we're not talking about football right now, guys. I know Flacco did a good job yesterday, but damn, this is about Delphi. There they go, talking about football.
Hold it together, people. Hold it together. Frank's getting testy.
I'm waiting for a dickhead or somebody to come into the chat so I can kick their ass right out of here. Frank's a good guy. This one time, don't even start, Steffa. She always does this. Talks about me leaving her on the trail.
She left you alone. You left her alone on that trail.
Hey, she got to blame me. I mean, Randy was with me. Taylor was with me. Oh, girl from Michigan was with us. We all left you on the trail. You can't just say me.
Oh, Frank, you didn't say anything about my Bears today.
What about them Bears? They got beat by the Colts. It's all that matters. They got lucky yesterday, but they did a good job.
Not.
And Laura says that Frank, Kristen, and Rescue. I would love to see an episode of Trading Places. Could Frank handle the daily feeding schedule of your pets? Not to the creepy crawlers she's got. No.
No, he would be really upset. I was sitting here just now talking to Shadow, and he asked me, he goes, are you going to feed you talking about feeding your dog, your puppy? I said, no, one of my tarantulas.
I said, oh, Lord.
He's like, oh, God. Hey, Randy, good to see you. Big hug.
Laura says, you both are awesome. I enjoyed listening to you guys and always make me laugh. Hey, it's not always about seriousness on the channels, guys. You guys got to remember that. There's always room for kid and play, laughs and everything. You know, and I like my channel to be like that.
This stuff is heavy. This the station that we have most of the time is very heavy and dark. Yeah. And, you know, it's sometimes you have to laugh just to get through it.
Right. And I mean, like, we don't expect to really talk about any evidence or anything in this case. We just come on to give the court decorum and everything like that. But it looks like we're getting into other stuff too. So, okay, Jennifer Reynolds, I've just never seen a case where so much of the public is so pro a suspect. I just want justice for the families. We all do. It's all about them babies and the families. To me and Kristen and a lot of people in this chat, you know. It's just like
I'm just one of those people that I'm not so much, everybody thinks I'm pro law enforcement. And what I'll tell you is, yeah, I am pro law enforcement. I believe that 90% of our law enforcement people are good people. They go to work every day. They do their job the way they're supposed to, and they want justice. And what does that mean? That means that when they arrest someone, majority of the time they have good reason to arrest them. They're not going to arrest somebody for the murder of 2 children.
Jeopardizing a lawsuit afterwards for false arrest and all that.
They're not going to put those families through hell,
right?
Trying to pretend like this person did it when they didn't. I don't see that happening, and especially not in a little community like Delphi, Indiana. Give me a break. Sorry.
And let's see, Ruckus responds to Big Fish. I agree. The only thing that makes this evidence ballistic is that the tool marks are on a piece of metal. That is it. Doesn't make him a ballistics expert. Teresa the Troll, good to see you.
Who's Finks?
Who?
It says you're going to trigger Finks. Who's Finks?
Oh, you mean Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix. Who's that?
You don't want to know.
Okay, never mind.
He's the one that was on Sleuth's channel calling him a big liar and everything.
He's the one that Sleuth should have kicked to the curb.
Yeah. Pitbull Mom, good to see you. More and more people are coming in, so I got to catch up. Tattoo you. Anyone know if Kathy Allen is sticking by Richard? I'm hearing stories.
We've all heard stories. How would we know? We're not privy to that information. We're not part of their relationship. I think only the people that are part of the relationship know the answer to that question.
Deb said Aspen is fine. Asheville is a mess, but Aspen is safe and sound. That's good to hear.
Yeah, good. I have really good friends who live in Asheville, and they're okay as well, but the whole place is a freaking nightmare.
Teresa. Oh, really? Is she in here? Oh, that's Teresa. Is that? No, we're not. No. No. Tell us more about Richard Allen's rights being violated so I can debunk it. Apparently, a lot of these people do not understand Indiana law. Indiana is one of the most effed up states when it comes to their laws. Free, fretless mayhem. Let's see.
Yeah, this hurricane was awful, and now they're saying there's another storm on its heels that might even be worse than this one was.
Vicky said the $40K was to pay off social media shills on the down low.
Yep.
Robin says, I have had the wonderful to meet Frank at last walk. Tongue-tied there. Free Relentless Mayhem said ballistics is the study of rounds that were discharged.
Or unspent rounds. It doesn't have to be just rounds that are discharged, because you could try to shoot a gun and have it misfire. It could still be ballistics. Come on, people.
Oh, did you see old, what's his name? Todd? Chris Todd?
Yeah.
He's being interviewed by everybody over the Diddy thing.
God.
What a jokester. Oh, there's my fantasy football alert.
I think they should call what's his name? Librato. And ask him about about the ballistics of unspent rounds, because he doesn't believe it's junk science.
No, that was Strimman.
Okay, Strimman, sorry.
Because Librato thinks he's innocent.
Well, wasn't that interview given though before they were brought into the case?
Yep. All right, let's get down to this court decorum, guys. There's like 3 pages or more. Well, she really spelled it out today. All right, guys. Courthouse management and decorum order. This case has generated substantial public interest and media attention. In light of this interest, the court has set forth rules of conduct and guidelines designed to govern the expectations of the people involved in the trial and those observing the trial so that the decorum of an open court will be maintained throughout the proceedings. The purpose of this order is to secure the defendant's constitutional rights to a fair and impartial jury while permitting the public and the press to exercise their First Amendment rights. In addition, the order protects the identity of jurors. Pursuant to the court's inherent authority to assure the proper administration of justice, it is therefore ordered that the following rules are in effect. The court may rescind or modify the order at any time, and any person or organization who violates this order will be subject to the discipline of the court, including contempt and permanent expulsion from the courtroom. We've already that's been got expulsion from the court. We already know who that is. Don't even have to say their names. The schedules are tentative and be modified daily. The judge invites media representatives to meet with her and counsel of record on October 17th, 2024 at 3 p.m. in the Carroll County Courthouse in Carroll County to discuss this order. At the conclusion of the meeting, video and or still photographs of the interior of the courtroom may be obtained for media use as B-roll or stock photographs. Jury selection is scheduled to begin October 14, 2024 and last through October 16, 2024 in Allen County Superior Court. Now, remember everybody, she designated, there we go, the 17th. Oh, she's got it. That is not right. That's not right. It can't be. because she is designated the 17th to transport everybody, the jurors, to the sequestered hotel earlier in an earlier order.
From what I understand is if they pick the jury and they get the jury done and say they finish jury selection at noon on the 16th, the jurors will be instructed to go home, get their stuff, and come back to the courtroom or courthouse, and they'll be taken that night.
Wow. So go ahead.
Oh, yep.
Well, then it's a day earlier than expected. It'll be the 17th, guys. And all court sessions begin at 9 a.m. and will conclude at approximately 6 p.m., which doesn't mean it'll end at 6 p.m. There will be recess for lunch, and there are brief recesses in the morning and afternoon.
Tech deaf, no, that would be me.
Security during these proceedings shall be provided by the Carroll County Sheriff's Department. All persons entering the Carroll County Courthouse should be subject to standing security protocols. The Sheriff of Allen County Civil Division officers will provide security in the court and attend to the jury. Upon entering the courthouse, all media representatives shall identify themselves and produce appropriate identification, which is credentials. Additionally, they may not possess any electronic devices, including any audio or video recording devices, camera, cell phone, tablet, etc. Media credentials. The court appoints George L. James to administer the media credentialing process. Credentials will be issued with the court's discretion. All requests for credentials must be made to George James via email, and then it gives his phone number by noon, October 10th, 2024. Any persons requesting a media credential must be prepared to present credentials identifying them as a member of the recognized media organization. Credentials shall be valid for entry to the courtroom during the trial unless they are rescinded by court order. Media should be prepared to display credentials at any time during the proceedings. Credentials will be assigned to the media organization, as opposed to a specific individual in the organization. Credentials may be obtained October 11th, 2024 at 2 p.m. from George, I don't know if it's an I or L, James. Access to the courtroom. The bailiff will allow entrance to the courtroom beginning at 8:30 a.m. And once a court session begins, distractions will not be allowed. Specifically, the bailiff will only allow entrance and exit during designated breaks in the trial or when a witness is entering and exiting the witness stand. If a person chooses to leave the courtroom during a court session, he and she shall not be allowed to re-enter the courtroom until the next break in the proceedings. That's what they've been doing ever since the little sunglass thing took place.
Which is why we have no cameras in the courtroom.
Yeah, that's a prime example.
Everybody can blame the YouTubers and the social media committee members that made it possible.
All persons must be seated during proceedings. There will be no standing except for court security and bailiff officers. No person will be admitted unless there is an adequate seating. There will be designated seating around seating areas for counsel parties, family, and credentialed media. The defense will be allotted 10 seats. The prosecution will be allotted 10 seats. The families will be allowed 20 seats. Now, the question on that is that 20 per family or is that both? That's the question I have on that one, too. The credentialed media will be allotted.
I don't think there's that many seats, so I think it's a total of 20.
Allotted 12 seats, 8 for television, 2 for radio, and 2 for newspapers. And the general public will be allotted the balance of the seats in the courtroom. If seats are in high demand, media may be limited to one representative from each news organization. During jury selection, there will be a reduced number of seats available to allow seating for all the prospective jurors. The court has previously issued a separate order addressing jury selection in Allen County Superior Court. All reserved seats will be available on a first-come, first-served basis. Groups will be directed to their respective seating areas. Unoccupied seats in the courtroom may be given to the general public if the court determines it's appropriate in the court's discretion. Dispute. Any dispute among media, whether one organization network is taking up too many seats, whether a specific individual constitutes media, whether a member of the press has correctly identified their network affiliation, will be decided by the media organization collectively. If the dispute cannot be resolved by the media and it results in seating issues, the court may employ a blind draw seating arrangement where all present members of the media place their name in a draw and the court seats press according to the drawn names and the number of media seats available. Jury. Completed questionnaires will be treated as confidential documents pursuant to provisions of the Indiana Jury Rule number 10. Personal information related to a juror or prospective juror and not disclosed in open court will be kept confidential, other than for the use of parties and counsel. No party, counsel, or court staff member shall publish or otherwise disclose in any way the name, address, or likeness of any juror or prospective juror in a manner that discloses the identity of that person, except for information which is disclosed in open court. Potential and impaneled jurors will be identified only by their jury number. During the trial, the media is directed that no photograph or recording of the jurors is allowed, including the juror entrance exit from the courtroom. If jurors are sequestered, this prohibition shall also include travel, dining, lodging, locations for the jury, as well as parking and transportation vehicles when the jurors are present. The media shall make no attempt to contact or question prospective or impaneled jurors until the court has discharged the jury. Each excused juror will be provided file stamp dismissal or dismissed excuse paperwork clearly indicating he or she is no longer a juror. To ensure prospective and impaneled jurors do not overhear media interviews, press interview and locations will be restricted. At the end of the trial, the court will ask jurors if they are interested in speaking with the press. The court will facilitate a local inside the courthouse where press will be permitted to interview jurors, if any, who wish to comment. Photography and video in the courtroom prohibited. No still or video photography or audio recording shall be permitted in the Carroll County courtroom or the courthouse. Any violation shall result in the item being confiscated and erased, and violators and their affiliated organizations are subject to be excluded from the courtroom for the remainder of the trial. Any interpretation, transmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or dissemination of the audio signal created by the court's audio system is prohibited pursuant to the rule of the Indiana Supreme Court. You know what that means. People trying to sneak in something that we can't see or hide, or we can hide, it wouldn't be recognized as a recording.
Like glasses.
Yeah. Any voice recognition software used to capture and transmit or transcribe courtroom procedures also prohibited. Still, and video photography and audio recordings are permitted only outside the courthouse. All recording equipment is permitted in this area. Media interviews outside of the courthouse building generally are not regulated by this order and are instead subject to administration of the law under the jurisdiction of the sheriff of Carroll County and the Delphi Police Department. The court must also guard against prospective and impaneled jurors overhearing media broadcast and interviews. To limit the potential exposures to jurors, the court will impose some restriction as authorized by Indiana Code Judicial Conduct Canoe 3B13. No interviews or broadcast activities shall take place in the courtroom or adjacent area. Instead, media must conduct interviews outside the courthouse. All trial counsel are directed to comply and inform their clients, staff, witnesses of the terms of this order regarding interviews. Electronic devices, phones, iPads, laptops, electronic watches, electronic eyeglasses.
Oh my God.
Got your ass. Like she didn't know it was going to. Old girl thought nothing was going to happen. Well, she just called you out right there. Electronic devices such as laptops, iPads, cell phones, etc., shall not be permitted in the Allen County or Carroll County Courthouse. Members of the press and public shall not use laptop computers, iPads, tablets, Kindles, cellular telephones, pagers. Who uses pagers anymore?
I know.
Personal digital assistants, cameras, electronic watches, and electronic eyeglasses. No reserved parking spaces are available to members of the public or the media. Street side parking is regulated by the city of Delphi. Media organizations are welcome to make contact with the Indiana State Police Public Information Officer, Chief Nate Lamar of the Delphi Police Department, Major Tobe Lesenby, or Deputy Mitchell Catron of the Carroll County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff's Department, to discuss accommodations for media satellite trucks, large press vehicles. And any possible accommodations are subject to any restrictions set out by the Indiana State Police, Delphi Police Department, or the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. Media contact. Pursuant to the Indiana Code of Judicial Conduct, the judge and other members of the staff of Allen County Superior Court or Carroll County Circuit Court are unable to respond to requests for comments or interviews at any time. All concerns and questions for media representatives should be directed to the court. Dated this day, September 30th, 2024, Francis C. Gold, Special Judge. Now, there's the rules. Remember, no Ray-Ban glasses. I'll wait. Bless you. I was waiting on that one. Now you speak on the glasses. I was waiting on her to address that.
I'm just like, this is exactly why I said earlier that, people have been up in arms for a long time because they said that Judge Gull was being unfair about allowing cameras in the courtroom and allowing this to be televised. And when she gave rules at the very beginning of this to adults, not children, but adults.
Yep.
It's very clear on it. And the media broke it right off for her. And then we had YouTubers decide that they were smarter than the judge and they were going to do what they do is try to insert themselves into the middle of a case. We got them trying to have fisticuffs outside the courtroom. Frank had to intervene into that mess. They ended up
twice.
Yeah. And then they end up banned by the judge. And then we have some Lulu woman decide she's going to go to court with these glasses on and then try to tell us, well, I didn't have them on.
The hell if she didn't? I was there.
I wasn't going to use them or nothing.
She said they were dead. Then why did you have them on for if they're dead?
Exactly. Why in the hell would you risk that and put everybody, I said to you today, it only takes one bad apple to spoil the whole bunch. And that's exactly what happened here, you guys. So if you want to be angry at somebody, don't be angry at Judge Gull, because trust me, she's a person who is for transparency and cameras in the courtroom. She is one of the judges who basically tried it and did the trial in her courtroom and agreed that it was something that should be done. The reason she's not doing it here is because she needs to absolutely keep control of this so Richard Allen does get a fair trial.
I think Aspen's in the chat.
Aspen is?
Yeah, somebody hearted Aspen.
I didn't see that. I think it's maybe because we were talking about it.
Oh, okay. Well, we got the Real Dragons in the house. Good to see you, buddy.
And again, that's another thing. This isn't just your standard everyday murder trial. We have 2 children that we're talking about here. So there are some things that are a little bit different. I heard somebody saying, Well, why the heck, has things been held so close to the vest? Why do we not know cause of death? Why do we not know, this, or this? Why wasn't this told to us? Because we're talking about kids.
Yep,
We're talking
exactly.
about children.
Coach Kev says, Tobin says, bad science, including the defense's own witness, Dr. Warren. Might be good lawyers, but they're shit at picking witnesses. Who's harassing whose wives? Don't tell me Phoenix is doing that. It says, somebody said,
you don't have to tell Tech Death that. He is a gentleman. He's never gonna be partaking in that crap. So I don't know why they're trying to give him a lesson. He doesn't need one.
Nope.
I'm just gonna say that right out there.
RA's lawyers had murder sheet deleted from RA's contact list. Never knew about that. CJK, I've seen the woman's kids saying, tweeting they are going to sue the author, Todd Guzzi. Hey, he needs it. He stuck his nose into something he had no clue about.
And as far as what you just said about the murder sheet, kudos to his attorneys, because I wouldn't want them having access to my client.
I had Scarlett Letter on panel the other night, and she was a really good guest, asking a lot of good questions.
Awesome.
Can someone post the Flora 4 thing for me, please, so I can post it up on the screen? Thank you, ladies. Or Mod Boss.
Figure around and find out.
Yeah, they're going to try. I can see that already. They're going to try to manipulate the jurors to believe in that Richard Allen's constitutional rights violated.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I get the same thing. They text me instead. All right.
It's saying I'm getting a call and I'm not getting a call. So that's really weird. That's weird. That's weird.
A judge can override a holiday. She can override a holiday.
Yep.
Soon we'll be hearing the jury was fixed. Just like football, how they say football games are fixed, basketball games are fixed. And I just want to see after the trial's over with if any of these nimwits, these scarecrows, defense scarecrows, are going to be charged with anything that they've done to cause some issues in this trial or in this case.
Yeah.
Yep, Spygate. That's who she was trying to be. Says, very grateful to Frankmeister and Rescue All Dogs who always get there early. Yes, we do. We're smart.
Most of those Allen groupies, they need to go to civics class. And they need to go back to civics class. Oh, wait, they didn't ever go to civics class. They need to go back and study their state history as well as the U.S. Constitution.
Well, see, I brought this up in a live too, and I said, you know what? You guys are sitting there saying he violated violated his constitutional rights, and I said, how would you know? You don't even know what the law is.
Yeah, they don't even know what the constitutional rights are. They're just piggybacking on what someone else said because they are so against law enforcement and they're so against the justice system in this country. And I feel they're anarchists, in my opinion. That's just the way I look at it. Because otherwise, this is our system. You don't change your system by doing what they're doing. That's not how you change your system of government. And that's not how you change your laws. And they just, I mean, it's pathetic to me that these Allen groupies think that they know all this stuff. And like Frank said, half the time when you listen to them, you can tell right off the bat that they don't have a clue about the law.
And, and I'm not saying I know everything about our constitutional laws, but I'm telling you this right now. I've caught up and started reading and learning and understanding what these laws are. That's why I always quote a lot of this stuff, because I've read it over and over and over until I understood it.
And state laws are different state to state. And that doesn't mean that they supersede the Constitution, but there are a lot of states that have different laws that they follow. And you need to know what those are as well.
Right. And a lot of people don't understand they can't supersede federal law, but what the federal government had done is allow them to add amendments to these laws for their own state.
Yeah. Yep.
Grismatic's in the house. What's going on, bro?
Yep.
She's quoting Aries, full moon Aries. Lots of charged up emotions and actions, fights, arguments, and quick to lash out. Hey, I try to back away from all that, but like everybody knows, you get in my aura like that shit happened in Allen County and doing that belly bumping shit. We ain't belly bumping. We ain't dancing, bro. I'm just going to leave it right there. Me and Sleuth had to talk about this too. You come up belly bumping me like that, the fight is on. Because I don't know where you guys grew up at. We didn't play that crap when we were younger.
I'm hearing you. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to jump off here and get ready for my live. It was good to be with you, Frank.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much for having me.
Yeah, always.
I'm so glad that you brought us on to teach us about the decorum and everything, because this is important stuff, and the shit's getting real. Yep. And she's not going to play. She's given us the absolute roadmap for how she expects people to behave for this trial, and they better heed it.
Hey, rescue, my chair's not squeaking. Oh, yes, it is. But thank you so much for coming on. And remember, everybody, once I end my show, go right over to her show, because it'll be on in 1 hour.
Yeah,
1 hour.
Give me a few minutes, guys, to get my stuff together. But yeah, I'll be there.
Oh, no, it's getting ready to start now, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be there in about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yep. See you all later.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye. I tried to fix it. I figured it out a little bit. There's a knob underneath my chair that I didn't know was unloose, so I tightened it, and it kind of got rid of the noise rescue. Hey, Carrie said she was going to come over and WD-40 my chair. Persevere says Delphi will forever be called out for the trial that bans smart glasses. Oh, yeah. Judge Go will be here all week. Try the veal. No, you got to try the mountain oysters and then tip the waiter. Yeah, she got smartwatches in there, Gail. Exactly. Yep, I would agree. All right. The virtuous local female has already done that, not the spyglass chick. Well, we know that one newspaper lady was in the courtroom sitting there on X or whatever she was doing, giving updates in the courtroom, and couldn't believe she didn't get caught. Well, no, he won't be. No, he won't be. Trust me on that. Yeah, it never made any sense to me either, Joe. Why people think they know more than Gold does when it comes to the law. I mean, she's up on short list for the Supreme Court, so she must be doing something right. Yep, you're right, Lois. Gold knows the case isn't for public knowledge because it's 2 children. It's not that hard to follow the rules, but some people have got this thought in their head. Rules and laws and rules are meant to be broken. Oh, yeah, and I already know every street around the courthouse, major street around the courthouse will be blocked off so nobody can drive around the courthouse. I know this for a fact because I've seen the mapping of what they're doing for the trial. Let's see. Okay. Try to get through, guys. All right, there we go. Justice for Galen's Angels, Kiana, Kiera, Cariel, Kiani. If you guys have not been over to the YouTube channel, the Flora 4 Memorial channel, please head over there, like and subscribe for me, please. And it's exactly what I'm saying, CJK. I put it out there when it came to the safekeeping hearing about the judge has total authority over his privileges when it comes to where he's housed at or anything. And the attorneys have no say-so. That's why no attorneys don't have to be there, because they have no say-so. She's looking out for the safety of Richard Allen. No, they don't want to hear logic. That's blatantly obvious. They always got that brain cramp. That's why I call them the scarecrows. Thank you, Aquarian, for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much. And one last time, prayer walk October 13th at 1:30 p.m., 1600 Old Camden Road, Delphi, Indiana, which is the Freedom Bridge parking lot. All right, guys. Well, I'm about to end the show because Chris is getting ready to start. I appreciate everybody that came out. I appreciate Aquarian and also Carrie for the $4 super sticker. Once again, Aquarian, thank you for the gifted 5 memberships. And to my mods, you ladies are great. Much appreciated. Love you guys. And to everybody in my chat, thank you for coming out and hanging out. Please go right over to Kristen's channel right after I end this live. And you know what time it is, guys. Peace out. One love. Good night, guys. Love you.